So we're in Charlotte this weekend visiting my sister and her family. My other sister and her family are here. My parents are coming today. So we're all in Charlotte enjoying a long weekend together. We haven't been together since Christmas time. And I've made a commitment to run a mile a day. And so I woke up this morning, had some breakfast, and I was putting my sneakers on to go for my run. And I was embarrassed to ask my brother-in-law if there was a mile loop that I could go run. And here's why I was embarrassed. Because I'm, maybe 35 pounds overweight, and I don't look like a runner. I don't look like somebody who would be running. My brother-in-law is in great shape. He's always been in great shape. And frankly, I never told him this, and he's not on Facebook, so he might not ever watch this. But I've always been a little bit intimidated. I've let myself be intimidated by his physical fitness. So I was embarrassed to ask if he knew a mile loop around here that I could run. And I just about picked up my phone and just said, I'm just going to go run. I'm going to find a mile to run, and just not even mention it to Caleb. And I thought, Derek, you're giving into a story. You're living out a story that you're embarrassed by your decision to get healthier. Is that who I want to be? Is that the story that I want to live into? And I said, it's not the story I want to live into. So I said, hey, Caleb, is there a mile run? Is there a mile loop around here that I could run? He said, oh yeah, go down the street, turn right, turn left, and there's a loop there that you can go run. And that took maybe 30 seconds. It wasn't the time that it took that was holding me back. It was the story I was telling myself that was originally holding me back. And I realized that I was embarrassed by my decision in front of Caleb to be healthier, to run, to exercise, to take care of my body. And it comes back to this question of, who do I think that I am? And I've asked myself this question many, many times in my life. Who do you think you are, Derek? Who do you think you are to go out and run? You're 35 pounds overweight. You look overweight. You don't look like a runner. Who are you to go running? Who are you to ask me about running? But this comes up also in other areas of my life. Who are you, Derek, to write a book? Who are you to write a book? Who are you to offer coaching to somebody, to lead them in a way to better their lives, to live into their dreams, to live into their faithfulness with what God has given them? Who are you, Derek? And I've had this conversation with one of my clients before, and frankly, it's a conversation that I have with me. And by the way, almost every conversation I have with my clients is a conversation that I've either had with myself, with God, or with my coach before. And it's not a question of who am I? I mean, that's the question we ask. But really the question is, who does God think that I am? Who does God think that I am to give me this gift to coach others? Who does God think that I am to give me this body that I should be taking care of? God gave it to me. Who am I not to write the book? Who am I not to go ask Caleb, where can I go running so I can start taking care of my body better? Who am I not to offer coaching to somebody, to come alongside them and lead them to live a fuller life, being significant, doing significant things with their lives? Who am I not? So the question that I'm actively shifting, continually shifting for me is, who am I? That's the old question. That comes from an old story that I'm not worthy, to who am I not? That comes from a story of God has gifted me with these things. Why? I don't know why. It's not my decision to know why. It's my decision to say, to whom much is given, much is required. And yes, there are some people that might think, well, who is Derek? That's their story. That's their story they're living out. That's a judgment they're making. The question is, am I going to make that decision based on that story? And also what I'm realizing is, and I'll share this with you too, is I made a commitment to run a mile a day. And frankly, I missed 2 days this week, which I wasn't super excited about. I won't make any excuses. I missed 2 days of running, and I wanted to catch up because I want to, in these 90 days, run 90 miles in 90 days. So I needed to catch up. And I was running a mile a day, and I was getting good at running a mile a day. And while I was running a mile a day, I was telling myself I could not run another step. I could not run further. So I was just stopping at a mile every day. Well, then it got to the point where I needed to catch up. So yesterday I said, you know what? I don't really think I can run 2 miles, but all running the second mile is putting one foot in front of the other. And so that's what I did yesterday. I ran 2 miles yesterday. Why? Commitment. I was committed to running 90 miles in 90 days. Steve Hardison said, lack of commitment is a high cost of low living. And that's true. Lack of commitment is a high cost of low living. Commitment is a high cost of high living. And see, it's not whether or not there's a high cost or a low cost. It's that what is the thing you're buying with a high cost? You want to buy low living? Complacency is a slow killer. You want to be complacent, lack of commitment, low living, just being average, being mediocre? Or do you want to put in the time, put in the effort, put in the energy, put in the cost, put in what it takes, put in the focus to achieve something of significance? What I'm realizing is commitment is the high cost of high living. Running 2 miles yesterday was hard, but I was focused on the one step in front of the other. That's it. So who am I? Who am I? No. It's not who am I. It's who am I not to be taking care of my body? Who am I not to be being a good steward with the gifts that God has given me? Don't be embarrassed by your decisions. You're making a commitment to do something with a gift that God has given you. Lean into that gift. Choose. And if you ever feel embarrassed about a decision that you've made, feel free to send me a message, PM me, reach out and say, Derek, I'm embarrassed by this decision that I made, and I know you've been embarrassed by a decision that you made, and you decided to make the decision anyway and follow through. I've got your back. Send me a message. I'll see you tomorrow.